So the chromatic scale is this pretty standard exercise that most people who pick up the guitar are introduced to early on, and it tends to be misused a little bit or greatly underused, but it's a wonderful, wonderful exercise that you can develop so many other exercises out of by modifying it based on what you want to develop as a musician, what skill you want to develop as a guitarist. So if you look at the typical chromatic scale, I'm on fret 5, and I'm just playing all the 4 notes in a row. What most people would want to do is they'll try with the metronome, and they'll get through it very quick. That's the idea that, or the goal for a lot of people, which is great. It can be helpful to develop the speed of movement, but along with that, there's also a need for the focus on accuracy and finger control and finger independence and whatnot. And so you can slow it down greatly and modify it into different variants of that original chromatic scale to develop these areas. So one way of doing that is, we know the chromatic scale, all right? Now this is simply to improve control and finger independence. Here's what I'm going to do. I play all the notes on the top string. When I move to the next string, all right, what people tend to do, especially beginners, because the control and finger independence hasn't set in just yet, what happens is all the fingers fly off the neck and they'll come back, something like that. That's what it tends to look like. So we're going to deal with that directly, and we are going to focus on controlling the movement. So as you noticed, I didn't lift off my fingers after I played the note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to keep all my fingers anchored there, lift only the index finger and move it to the next string. Then the second finger. So I'm only moving the fingers as I'm playing the next note. So this is my priority now. This control, and I want to place it very accurately. Now I'm going to follow the same 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern and play back up. Right? Easy enough. So that's one area that you can focus on to develop finger independence and control. Yet another exercise that you can use is this little lopsided chromatic scale, like a staggered chromatic scale. All right? Now this will stem from you building up that control and independence and accuracy from the variation that we just saw. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the chromatic scale, but I'm going to use 2 strings at a time. Right? So my first finger on the top string of the 5th fret. Then my next note, my second finger, is going to play the next fret but on the A string, the string below it. My third finger is going to play the top string again, and my fourth finger is going to play the string below it. It looks like this. And then I'm going to move down and do the same thing. And I can play backward. So I'm playing 4, 3, so 4 on the bottom string, 3 on the string above it, 2 on the bottom string, 1 on the string above it, and move up that way. So there's another way to play it. Let's look at one final way to play it maybe, and let's add some string crossing in there. So I'm going to play this, the same simple chromatic scale, but I'm going to skip a string. So I'm going to play the E string, skip the A, move to the D string, skip the G and go to the B, and now I'm going to play the E string, the immediate next string, and I'm going to skip a string as I move up. And I'm going to play the E string again. And skip it. There you have it, just 3 variations of the chromatic scale, and you can develop them into as many more variations that you need. Let me know if this helped.